India's chokehold is now making it difficult for Pakistan to keep its neck above waters. Gasping for breath, the country is now resorting to blowing hot air. Lot of sound and fury signifying absolutely nothing. With reactions that have been coming in, the fear is isolation that is now being compounded all the way. This is how India strategically, militarily, diplomatically is now responding to terror state Pakistan.
ये जो गोरी, शहीन, गजनवी, ये चौकों में सजाने के लिए नहीं हमने रखे हुए, ये हमने हिंदुस्तान के लिए रखे हैं। बाबा, ये जो 130 एटॉमिक हमारे पास वेपन है, वो हमने सिर्फ मॉडल बनाने के लिए नहीं रखे हुए। तो इसलिए ये सोचना भी ना कि आप पाकिस्तान की हदूद को क्रॉस करोगे। अगर सोचोगे भी तो उसका खमियाजा आपको भुगतना पड़ेगा।
इंडस वाटर ट्रीटी जो 64 साल पुराना मुआहदा है, उसको इनवेंस कर दी लेजिस्लेशन में। वो ट्रीटी ना अमेंड हो सकती है, ना टर्मिनेट हो सकती है विदाउट द कंसेंट ऑफ बोथ कंट्रीज। मैं समझता हूं कि ये बेहतर होगा हिंदुस्तान के लिए कोई नया पंगा ना ले।
लश्कर तैयबा is an ancient, it's a defunct thing, it doesn't exist anymore. That is a name which is taken from the past and from the archive.
Well, the fear of isolation is real for Pakistan because it is witnessing how the world is now standing and rallying behind India and against Pakistan's terror factory. Right from the US to UK to Canada to Germany, protests are being staged against the perpetrators of Pahalgam. On the other hand, even when Pakistanis are managing to put together a show of solidarity overseas, they cannot even get the act right. Look at these a bunch of people who are protesting outside the Indian High Commission who can't even get their flag. They cannot even hold their flag straight. And then they speak of waging a war against India. It is almost comical. Now, this cluelessness is all pervasive, or perhaps it is the fear of what awaits that our cowardly neighbor, who has never even won a war in its lifetime, is desperately trying to build safeguards. Interestingly, the man who started this saber rattling is General Asim Munir, who somehow, after the Pahalgam attack, is missing. He is nowhere to be found. Clearly aware that it is bitten off more than he can chew, Pakistani proxies are also now retracing their steps. Remember, it was the the proxy TRF that hiding behind its internal audit to say earlier claims that it was involved in the Pahalgam terror attack. However, then it backed out. You just heard when it comes to the defense minister saying that Lashkar now is defunct. Imagine, that is a statement coming in from the Pakistani defense minister just days after admitting that Pakistan has been doing all the dirty work for the last 3 decades. Pakistan is clearly shaking in its boots. It is fumbling. It is stammering. The question is the bluff, the bluster and the false bravado the only ammunition that these Pakistanis have? All talk, no action. Pradeep, that is pure how to define Pakistan, because these are all tall claims that are coming in from its very small leaders, and they are very well in the know that they have no stand, no chance against India at all.
Yes, Amita, you are absolutely right, because it's called much ado about nothing, you rightly said, because these are all hollow slogans being made by the Pakistani netas. The biggest question right now everybody is asking, first question is that where is the Pakistani general, the chief of army staff, Asim Munir, because the man who should have been holding ground and to be seen on ground with his soldiers, he has gone underground. Whether he is hiding in a bunker or whether he has left the country, nobody knows, because so far not a single word has been uttered from his side. He is nowhere seen. So that has also in fact led to that slant in the morale of the troop there. And the second thing is that when all these politicians, they come and give such statement like that India has no legal viability, they can't amend this, that blood will be flowing. Everybody knows that these are hollow slogans. This is not really going to work, because they had been nuke-mongering for the last several decades, and already India had called their bluff in 2016 also, because all these years they had been saying that when India is going to cross line of control, we are going to use nuclear weapon. What really happened? India crossed line of control. India sent a message loud and clear that if line line of control is not sacrosanct for you. We too can cross line of control and can hit you hard where it's going to hurt you most. And they did it in 2016 with the first surgical strike. And the second time, Pakistan was caught napping. They had no idea by the time Indian Air Force was able to decimate and demolish Jaish-e-Mohammed headquarters. And this time also India has made it clear. So these are certain baby steps which India has taken. And you can see with the baby step, Pakistan has got so rattled. And in desperation and panic, they are giving such statements. And there is all one can see the dramatics and the theatrics from their side. But on the other hand, Indian generals, they are there on the ground. They know what they actually have to do. So far, no kinetic action has been taken.
About the action that has now taken place. Of course, military level is something that has been taking place with these sweeping operations. Yavar can give us an update in the last 48 to 72 hours alone when it comes to these 9 terrorists who are affiliated with terror bodies and organizations, how their terror hideouts are now being demolished. Yavar.
Well, exactly over a past 72 hours, there are many of the operations that were launched by the security forces against these networks. And the 9 houses of active militants have been demolished. Among them, 2 militants are operating from Pakistan. We have been given the understanding that such actions have been initiated after sending a strong message that whosoever has done the Pahalgam carnage will be dealt very sharply. We have been reporting continuously since the day one that what are the security perspectives that have been put in place across the Jammu and Kashmir, and so as this action which has gaining the grounds in the Kashmir Valley. But yes, yesterday back to back there was a statement from the Chief Minister Omar Abdullah, PDP Chief Mahbooba Mufti, the Srinagar MP Aga Ruhullah, and there was a statement from Omar that the guilty should be punished very harshly, but the public should not have
political aspect to it, Yavar, in just a bit.